Peace, family. Lions Den here with another news and commentary. I was about to do a video that's going to slander this woman on the bottom of your screen, Amber Rose, about Bill Cosby. But you know what? After I saw the Jaja Ali, shout outs to her response to Amber Rose and what she's doing to Bill Cosby, I changed my mind on that. I decided to change my mind. Instead, I'm going to use my intelligence. And what I'm about to say. For those of you who don't know, Amber Rose, the woman on the bottom of your screen, says that Bill Cosby, I hope he didn't die in jail. That's exactly what she says. You know, as a black man, and as an intelligent black man, I look at this comment from her, you know, and a lot of people say, well, and again, I'm like Jaja Ali now. I'm looking at the third ear and the third eye. Now, I'm not defending Bill Cosby at all. So, for those of you, now on previous videos, you know, I said my piece on the Bill Cosby's, you know, sentencing. But I will say this, and it made me think as a man and as a husband now. I'm starting listening to my wife now. I'm starting listening to what she says about women in general. And some of us, and I admit as brothers, we don't listen to women that much. We don't listen to them. But I'm listening to mine. But with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Now, I was going to place a previous video, but I decided not to because I listened to Jaja Ali. Again, shout outs to her video. I was going to go in on Amber Rose. But then I realized if I do that, then I'm no better than the other people on other platforms. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to play this video, but I will say this, that, you know, no disrespect, but why we even listen to what Amber Rose is saying? Why do we even listen to her? Well, she has a reputation. Let's just put it like that. She has a major reputation of what she does. You know, and so we know her history of what Amber Rose is doing. And basically, you know, basically she calls herself a hoe. Go figure, right? She calls herself a hoe, and she's proud of being a hoe. This is the person that y'all worshiping. I'm talking about these young people. Now, this is the person that y'all worshiping. And we see these young sisters, these young black sisters that's going through rape. And this is real life now. That's going through rape. That has been raped, been sexually assaulted, for real. In our own community, in the black community now. And yet we listen to what she says. And we have to accept her as a spokesperson. She don't even respect people in the black community. And yet we have to let her in because guess what? Her claim to fame is what she said. She called herself as a hoe. Or a thought. That's what she called herself. And her young boyfriend, her youngest boyfriend, 21 Savage, is basically defending her woman and said, I'm just going on the other side of the fence. This is why I'm not doing this video for. I'm doing this video to show you, excuse me guys, to show you what this woman's doing, what she's saying. So I'm going to play this video, and this is her Instagram of what she said about Bill Cosby. And again, I'm like Zaza Ali now. And I'm looking at the third ear and the third eye about this entire situation. And why she's not a perfect example of speaking for the black community. Amber Rose is not a perfect example of why she's basically saying, okay, Amber Rose, you're right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and then I'm going to finish the rest of my commentary.
Mr. Cosby, any comments, sir? No.
Okay, you saw what Amber Rose is saying on her Instagram, right? That brothers who support this rapist calling Bill Cosby a rapist. And we do not have any evidence that he really did rape these women. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up. Now, this woman right here has a resume. And as you know, this resume ain't that good. And this is what concerns about the young sisters out here that loves and follows her. She calls herself a hoe. She calls herself a thought. And her resume, you'll be a former stripper in Philadelphia, PA, that loved to strip, going to strip clubs, do what she do. And then we as brothers, some of us, I'm not saying all of us, but some of us basically loves and adores her. And she comes in our culture, the hip hop culture, and just basically claim to fame, well, I'm a hoe and this is what I like to do. And and what she doesn't realize is that young sisters are watching this. You know, it's saddening that you have younger girls ages 14 to 17 watching this girl do what she do, and they love it. They accept it. How you want to accept something that she loves being a hoe, and basically we as men really say, okay, she's a hoe, I would love to bang, 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 bang. But we're not using our heads. And then some of us brothers have daughters themselves. So what can we tell our little girls? To be like Amber Rose? Or to be like women like Zaza Ali? Or to be women like Coretta Scott King? Or Betty Shabazz? See, we as brothers need to take responsibility for how we raise our if we have little girls, how we raise our daughters. Because we do not want our little girls growing up to be like Amber Rose. Let's keep it real right here. We want girls to be like lawyers, doctors, judges, politicians that runs for mayors, governors, and possibly our future president. We don't want to be ended up like that. We don't want our daughters to be ended up like Amber Rose. Now, I did a previous video, and I was going to go in on Amber Rose. I really did. Like, I was cussing and did all of that. But then when I watch I'm a big fan of Zaza Ali. When I listened to her, that made me stop. It made me completely stop and say, I'm not posting this on YouTube. But instead, I'm using my intelligence. Brothers, black brothers in our community, most of us has daughters. And I'm starting to believe what Zaza says. And Zaza is absolutely right about one thing she says. She says that we don't listen to our women. We don't. And some of us, we don't. And she's absolutely right. We don't listen to our women, what they're saying, what they went through. Some been abused. Some been sexually assaulted, raped, and we don't listen to them. And see, this is why we going to end up. I'm talking about. I mean, our daughters. I'm talking about most brothers in here. Are we going to let our daughters growing up like Amber Rose? Going to strip clubs, being a stripper for money, and let Tom, Dick, and Harry can put all the dicks in our daughters. This is what this is all about. Because the way I see it, if that's the case, then we're not doing a good job as fathers raising our little girls. Let's keep it 100. Now, I'm not defending Bill Cosby. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm like Zaza Ali now, looking at the third inner third eye, and Zaza Ali really woke me up on some things. Like he did went to a late night show, interviewing, say he did admit put Spanish flies on women's drinks. Now, I'm not saying that he raped these women. I'm not saying that at all. But it begs to differ that if you're America's dad, as you say you are, why did you admit to a late night comedy show putting Spanish flies on women's drinks? That tells you right there that, wait a minute, are you serious? Are you for real? So, I'm thinking really smart now that, I never saw the other side of this issue until Zaza woke me up. Shout out to Zaza Ali. I love you. I love you, my sister. You wake this brother up more than you really realize. But she really woke me up on some things. And that's why I said that maybe brothers like myself, maybe brothers out here need to listen to their women. Listen to women, period, because we do not know what they go through as a child, or because they could have been molested and we don't know about it, or they could have been raped or sexually assaulted for real. And this is what happened in our communities. And basically, it's not just strangers. It's our own family members as well. Family members that might probably rape their niece. We don't know. So I'm thinking like this, and this is why I said that when you have girls like Amber Rose and little teenage girls following her on social media, telling it's okay to be a hoe, I have a problem with that as a black man. Because you have, and like I said, I don't have kids of my own, but I do have a goddaughter, and I'm not gonna let my goddaughter be like women like Amber Rose. Instead, I'd rather let my goddaughter watch videos for Zaza Ali, or women like learning in the past like Martin Luther King's wife Coretta Scott King, or basically, Dr. Betty Shabazz, or learn about Harriet Tubman. All these extraordinary women that fought in the civil rights movement. That's I want my goddaughter to learn from. I don't want and this is what's so sad about this generation too, that if y'all gonna follow Amber Rose or Black China, and they admit that they're a hoe and they love being a hoe, it's like you worshiping the girls. I mean, basically, this is what's so sad about this story, guys, because we as men endorsing and bringing in Amber Rose, and obviously thinking it's okay to be what Amber Rose is doing, and it's not. And then we have daughters. We have some brothers have little girls watching girls like Amber Rose and thinking, oh yeah, I want to be like her because she got a big old ass and she got big old titties. Excuse my language. No disrespect to the beautiful sisters out there for saying what I just said, but I'm just making a point that what us black men doing? What are we really doing? I mean, some of us had daughters and watching trash like this. You know, and like I said, I'm not defending Bill Cosby at all because I realize that I agree with Zaza says that when he talk about Spanish flies, he dropping Spanish flies in the drink. You know, I don't respect a guy like that. But we also don't know if he really raped these women or not. But, you know, but at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, why are we accepting women like Amber Rose, giving the platform and be a spokesperson to the black community, to the black women, the young black girls that quote unquote endorses her? Why? It doesn't make any sense. So, and I know that, you know, I was going to do a quick video, and I know it took time, you know, basically that I thought it would be. But I realized one thing, guys. I'm talking about black brothers out here. And Zaza, you're absolutely right. We need to start, as black men, some of our black men, we need to start listening to our black sisters. We listen to our women more. Because we have to admit, we don't listen to our women more. We definitely need to start to. We definitely that. And we need to be held accountable. We need to be held accountable for how we raise our kids, especially our little girls. Because the last thing, and we already know about black fathers, last thing we wanted is to be ended up like our daughters be like Amber Rose. Now, with that being said, and I'm preaching to the black sisters as well. I'm to the black sisters, to the queens. We love you. Black brothers, we love you. Our black brothers, we do love you. To the queens, when can we say enough is enough about Amber Rose? When can we tell you, ladies? We tell because I know some of y'all are mothers already. When are we going to tell the ladies out there that Amber Rose ain't a spokesperson to the black community, let alone an idol or a role model to the young black women? When are we telling these young ladies that? So we in ourselves needs to. I'm talking about whether it's us, the black men, or the black women, the people in the black community as a whole, in general. When can we say enough is enough? And say, with all due respect, Amber Rose, you're not representing the black community. You're not representing us at all. So I don't even know why you won't put your 2 cents in and give your opinions on the Bill Cosby case because you got a platform. See, we in the black community need to stop all of this and say we need to stop this. Because the last thing we needed is a woman like Amber Rose telling us what we can do, what we can and can't do in the black community. And we just brought her in our black community because of her lifestyle. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. And I really appreciate everybody to watch my video here. But I want to have a response to this video because it's if we don't stand up and we don't take responsibility and not allow Amber Rose to tell us what to do in our communities, then it's going to be other people that's going to tell us they admit they're hoes. Like, of course, Amber Rose and Black China and all of them. So, at the end of the day, people, let's get our communities together and think with a third ear and a third eye. So, with that being said, that's all I have to say about this video. And I love you guys. And hopefully I will see you guys soon. This is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.